Los Angeles, California, a sprawling metropolis, land of freeways, fancy cars, picturesque palm trees, and elaborate estates. A blend of both the glamorous and the exotic. Los Angeles is also one of the most ethnically diverse places on Earth, the Ellis Island of California. But unlike New York City, Los Angeles is not a theater town, and when it comes to minority theater, LA is like a desert. But here, located in the inner city community of Pico Union, is an oasis, an artistic oasis, Inner City Cultural Center. For more than 2 decades, Inner City Cultural Center has survived as both a fertile breeding ground for up-and-coming talent and a creative outlet for established professionals. It has stood as a means for showcasing talent from the minority community and as an important link between the inner city community and the film and television industry. Whether acclaimed, struggling, or novice, Inner City has served to bring artists closer to their audience.
May I just say how wonderful it is to know that this institution has survived many hardships, many tribulations, but is still here and still getting better and better each year.
Inner City is a learning place for professionals as well as beginners.
Black theater in the community, where young aspiring actors and actresses can come to learn their trade and their craft, is very important. Now, I'm from New York City, New Federal Theater and Negro Ensemble Company, and we had this type of training where a person could go to get his feet wet, to jump in, to make your mistakes, to learn your craft from experts, you know, and also from your peers. So it was very important for me to jump into something like Inner City when I came here from New York, so I could continue to learn my craft. This is a wonderful place for all minorities, black people.
This is Magnificent Montague, 12.
Born out of the ashes of the Watts riot in 1965, Inner City was the brainchild of C. Bernard Jackson, a former UCLA music for dance instructor.
It was a tragic beginning, in a sense. There were virtually no other theaters in the Los Angeles area that were addressing problems of concern to people of color. Nick Stewart's Ebony Showcase obviously was the oldest and most respected black theater in Southern California. I was always interested in trying to develop something here. I knew the audience was here. The problem was how to find the support necessary to get something like that underway. The answer came, oddly enough, in 1965.
Though it is associated with the Watts riot and the black arts movement of the 1960s, Inner City is more than just another black theater. Over the years, the center's activities have included performing arts contributions from other minority communities. Like the city of Los Angeles itself, Inner City Cultural Center reflects an ethnic diversification, a characteristic that is not accidental.
Interestingly enough, we were less concerned about the communication gap which existed between the black and white communities. Everybody was aware of the existence of that gap. But to examine much more closely the gap which existed between peoples of color who shared similar problems and similar visions, but very seldom came into contact with one another.
Mako, actor and former executive director of East-West Players, was a member of Inner City's first board of directors.
The whole concept at that time was to develop, nurture, and make this inner city theater company uniquely Los Angeles of its own, you know. And which I like very much, because we're talking about not only just black actors, but Latinos, Asians, white, you name it.
In 1972, the center moved from the Boulevard Theater, an old movie house on Washington Boulevard, to the nearby Scottish Rite Masonic Temple at Pico and New Hampshire. Since then, the building has undergone a complete transformation, from a 1925 fraternal meeting hall to a modern artistic haven with 2 dance studios, a library, 2 main theaters, and a cabaret-style cafe. Inner City Cultural Center has persevered.
Most people did not believe that we would survive beyond the first 2 years, let's say, and certainly did not believe we'd survive beyond the 3rd year, which is the year in which...
In the beginning, the center's survival depended on city, state, and federal grants. However, there are major disadvantages of such a dependency.
Because of the fact that we represent minority community, oftentimes the funding source look upon our organization as, well, okay, you only represent or reflect less than 8% of Los Angeles population, or 12% or 20%, you know. And therefore, as compared to, let's say, Mark Taper Forum or LA Civic Light Opera or what have you, instead of us getting millions that is vitally needed to restructure, purchase, and renovate our facilities, we are really scrambling for, you know, like anywhere from 2,000 to 20,000. All the minority theaters in Los Angeles, whether it's inner city, bilingual foundation, Plaza de la Raza, East-West Players, it really doesn't matter, you know. We need all the help we can get.
All of us have similar problems. We're always given the smallest piece of the pie, and very often the minorities have to fight among themselves for that small piece of the pie, which is very sad. While major theaters in the city enjoy the larger portion of funding from the federal and state and city and county governments, it seems to me that those of us who need it most are the ones who get it least. However, we've never let that be a deterrent. We have always managed to work at the highest level with the least amount of money. The trick is to do them well, to do a show well when you have very little money. And that's what most minority theaters are forced to do.
With or without government funding, one of the main reasons inner city has survived is the audience it has built up over the years. People of the inner city and from throughout Los Angeles County have consistently supported the center. Now self-sustaining, inner city's main source of income is from ticket sales.
I think it's an extraordinary opportunity for people living in this area not to have to go out of their way, and they have that very entertainment here at the center without having to go the distance and through other difficulties. The quality is exceptional of the performance, and there's a variety of activities here and entertainment available.
I always liked to come to Inner City. Before I became affiliated with Inner City in '85 as an actress, I came here for different performances, even when they were in another building many, many years ago. And I think it affords an opportunity not only for actresses and actors, but of course for playwrights, for people that want to put on work that may not be put on anywhere else. And for an audience to come and be able to see that work and to have it in the community, it's just an excellent opportunity for all those people involved, people that are on the stage and those people who are able to work behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. Sustaining such an organization, of course, involves much more than the eye can see, much more than is on display, much more even than the work that goes into a show or performance. The staff at Inner City is predominantly composed of artists who have trained themselves for both the administrative and technical needs of the center.
As with many other nonprofit agencies, staffs come and go. When I first returned to the center about 2.5 years ago, it was just Jack holding down the fort and with an assistant or secretary. Since then, we've grown to perhaps 5 almost full-time individuals, volunteers coming in occasionally.
You can't categorize my job. Whatever is necessary to keep us going forward in a positive vein. And that's what I do. Sometimes you'll see me painting, sometimes you'll see me designing, sometimes you might see me singing, dancing, whatever. Sometimes you might see me outside on the front or in the front sweeping the alley. Whatever it takes. Our house is not as equipped as a marked taper form, so we have to improvise quite a bit. So we need to be quick on our feet in terms of solving problems as they come. I try to resolve situations as quickly as possible and also make sure that the show comes off as professional as possible.